first off, is this something that's worthy of the amount of 10-year hype that it's getting?
I think it is not necessarily because of what the decision itself meant. I think it was an ushering of a new era. I think the modern NBA that you see is really shaped by this. I mean, look at Kevin Durant going to Golden State. I don't think that that's something that would happen if you didn't have the decision. It really ushered in the era of player empowerment, which I don't think it's fair to give all the credit to LeBron there. I think it's something that you're seeing across sports is players are starting to recognize the power that they have. The other factor in that whole situation is owners in with the new CBA going with shorter contracts that really kind of enabled players to have a little bit more power over where they're going to play. Their trade demands have a little more weight to them. When a guy has a 1+1 deal or a 2-3 year contract, you start to have to factor in those decisions, and it really accelerated the process of team building and teams going all in. So for that reason, I think it is kind of worth going back and revisiting what the decision was. Although I will say a lot of the conversation is just about the mechanics of the TV special and how it all came together. And that to me is a whole lot less interesting.
There was a great book about that whole era too. I read it last summer, 2 summers ago, about how that led to the Dirk finals in 2011 and
Yeah.
his massive, massive victory that completely changed his legacy. Doc Rivers in Boston, his eventual exodus, what we saw with the Celtics, and them eventually just having to break things up and leading into a new era for them. Even the Cavaliers. So 2010, they were the best team in the East, weren't they? Or was that '09?
'09, they definitely were. They had the best record. That was the year
2010,
they.
they were definitely favorites, I'd want to say, because the Celtics really, like, they faltered in '09 because of the Garnett injury. 2010,
Mhm.
they come around, have a very good bench, Nate Robinson, Glenn Davis, all that. Garnett's back, rejuvenated, and Perkins is still playing at a high level inside at that point. You got Allen, you got Pierce, Rajon Rondo reaches this new level. So they rally and just dismantle the Cavaliers in that second round series because, on the other hand, Shaquille O'Neal doesn't work. Antoine Jameson's not the level of impact that they expected over there. And
Oh
so,
my god. And then you had in the middle of the series LeBron shooting left-handed because he had quit. Quit, hurt, whatever you want to call it. It was weird. It was the start of back-to-back really terrible exits for him when you look at 2010 and 2011. 2009, people bring that up as a choking situation, which is absurd when he was averaging like 44 points per game. I think it was like 44, 9-9 against Orlando. He was playing out of his mind. I think that was actually kind of more of a matchup thing. Like
we
that,
look
that
back
cat.
at the Magic now completely differently, given their style of play, what they were doing with the role
Mhm.
players system, all that.
And I think the Cavs actually that year would have given the Lakers a very good series and would have had a shot in that series. But the difference between the Lakers and the Cavs was the Cavs were still playing a very traditional style, where the Lakers had the versatility to go to Lamar Odom, who was their third best player, and countered Rashard Lewis as that stretch four, which was something that the Cavs didn't have in their arsenal, and they tried to address when they picked up Antoine Jameson. But 2010, it's going to be something that just always leaves a sour taste in the mouths of Cavs fans because of, I guess, the uncertainty over what was really going on with LeBron. I mean, people will bring up the Delonte West situation. They will bring up whether or not he actually hurt his hand against Chicago the round before, and that was the reason he was shooting left-handed. But both physically and mentally, LeBron had checked out, and then it was. I You almost wonder how much it really was he needed to get over his own mental hurdles because you look at the following year and the disaster against Dallas. And it was clear that there was still some mental growth. I mean, we're looking at a guy that was 33 years old, or sorry, 23 years old at the time, which is just
Really.
absurd when you really consider that.